Tesla shares slightly higher today, but seeing a more than 50% drawdown from its recent high. Several negative notes this week about that stock, not from our next guest, though, who has defended it and more than once. Dan Ives is Wedbush Securities Head of Technology Research. He's here with us at Post 9. Thank you for coming on
great
today.
To be here.
I appreciate you being here because I think it's interesting that you have defended this name not once but twice in the last handful of days. On March 6th, last week, you called it a table pounder. Last night, you said your bullish view was unchanged. There are a lot of questions about the stock. It's been down 7 straight weeks. Why'd you feel compelled to come out and defend it not once but twice?
Yeah, well, first, we've been talking to investors, all around the world on Tesla, and is this a moment that basically the bull thesis basically gets thrown out because of some of the brand issues, the distractions? And our view is when things are great, okay, anyone could be there. But when things are tough, moments like this, I think that's where we've been able to guide Tesla investors over the decade, right, in terms of these moments. I don't believe that this is really a black swan event for Tesla in terms of the brand issues, in terms of something that could really deteriorate the medium and long-term outlook. But no doubt, we've talked about it. It's a moment of truth for Musk. No one, including ourselves, expected he'd be this involved in Doge, this involved in Trump administration, and it's really cascaded, and I think this is a pivotal moment for him.
Explain to me how you go from your bullish view unchanged, those are your words, last night, to this morning where you put out a note ahead of our appearance where you call it a moment of truth. What happened from last night to this morning where you didn't have that perspective until this morning? How does this happen?
I think from our perspective, it's more hearing Musk, hearing from investors around the world, and it's basically us saying the medium long-term case for Tesla, I continue to view $2 trillion. I believe when it comes to physical AI, autonomous robotics, they're actually the best position company in the world. But with that said, to hear Musk continue to talk, and again on social media as well, it's really us trying to explain, look, this is the time, very similar as we saw during Twitter, very similar as we saw even called a year and a half ago. This is the time to lead. It's a time to be CEO because I think patience is wearing thin among investors, and it was really to communicate those thoughts at, I think, a pivotal time for the stock.
The reason why the stock is down seems to be a confluence of events. Obviously, his presence within the administration, as close as he has become, he's become a much more polarizing figure politically. But the facts are the facts. And the facts are that sales are not good. And they haven't been good. Are you taking that into consideration? Sales in China down for the past 5 consecutive months, right? Down 49% in February, the lowest monthly figure since July of 2022. U.S. sales down again last month, down 75% in Europe, 65% in Australia. This has become more of a headline story to an actual fundamental breakdown somewhere.
Yeah, but let's also talk about what's ahead. In other words, the refresh from a Model Y perspective, when you look at a lot of the refreshes that are happening in Europe, in China, in the U.S., you got the unsupervised FSD in Austin. I continue to believe 90% of the value going forward is going to be autonomous, is going to be robotics when it comes to Optimus. And I believe from a demand perspective, especially when it comes to FSD, 15% of Tesla owners have FSD. That's what we estimate. As that goes to 40, 50%, numbers basically triple in terms of from an EPS perspective as that plays out. And look, I get it. This is a time. Have we been dead wrong this year in Tesla? Of course. It's been a disaster call. But for 25 years, our best calls are ultimately in times like this that I believe as you navigate the noise, this will be not just a $1 trillion, but $2 trillion. But it comes down to Musk needs to balance Doge, Tesla CEO. That's something where I think the clock struck midnight.